So today's topic are OOPS concepts. So what is OOPS? Anybody knows? Guys, I will request you all please join on time. So from next class, I won't be switching to screen and accepting the invites. Please join before even the class timing is 7:15. I am starting at 7:42. Still, if you are late, then it's your call if you want to attend that day or not. Please join on time. So previously before object-oriented programming approach, there was other approach as well, but there were some drawbacks with those approaches. That's why we came with the new concepts like Java. So this is not a OOPS is not a programming language. This is a myth. This is not a programming language. This is just an approach. Okay. So approach means what the way you want to finish your work. By using others way you can also program, but this will be a different approach that you finish maybe better than previous. Okay, so this is our okay. So from next class I will be accepting only till 7:40. After that I will not be switching to school. So better if you start joining at 7:15. You have 25 minutes to join. You are just waiting for 7:40 to pass on. Then you are actually wasting your time only. Okay, so other approaches were there also. But before that we have a small topic left, that is access modifiers. What are the access modifiers? We will see four access modifiers today. One of these public, one is protected, one is default, and one is private. These are very important topic, means access modifiers and all. Okay, in other programming languages also these will be there, but we have to understand in terms of Java. Okay, so what is access modifier? Because in OOPS programming, when you program anything, then you will use access modifiers. Okay, so you should know. See, public, you all are knowing about the packages, right? So this is my project. Okay, we have created this, still people coming. Okay, so you can see, let me start Eclipse, then you can see the that as well. We have packages. Okay, we have inside src folder we have packages, everyone knows about that. So we have to see what is access modifiers now. See, okay, so currently we know about four access modifiers, and those are public, protected, then default, and then private. Okay, as per hierarchy you can see. If you go to Java, see, this is src folder. Inside this src folder we have this package there for loops, week 1 and all. Okay, means we have packages, we work in the package, we work beyond the packages. Okay, different classes to communicate with different package classes. Okay, so we should be very well known of these access modifiers, otherwise always be a problem. So public, whenever you declare a class like this, public class, means this class can be only public, okay, but when we come in terms of methods, variables, in Java, methods are also called as behaviors, and these variables are properties, okay. So these are properties and behaviors. In methods are termed as behaviors, and variables are properties, okay. Because why I am telling this, because many times when you read out any blog you will find this word, so I just want you not to be confused at that place, and you should know what is this behaviors and what is actually property, okay. So suppose I am declaring a class here, class object oriented example public, okay, and here inside I am declaring integer a is equal to 5, public m1 any method, return type void suppose, and then this is your class, okay. Now if this method is public, then anyone can access this method, either that is beyond the package, inside the package, anywhere in the project that can access, okay, this method m1. Suppose I make it to private, then only this class can access this method. Beyond this class nobody can access, not package, not any other, even inside same package any other class cannot access it, only this class, current class, can access it. This is the private approach, okay. If you want to access this and don't want to make it public, then there is a keyword protected modifier, you can use this, but this method can be used outside of the package only through inheritance. Now what is inheritance, I will come to that topic, but if you want to use this method m1 beyond the package, means inside same package you can directly use it, okay. Just use, you can use it through inheritance, or you can use just making the class and object. But if outside of the package there is another class, means there are two packages p1 and p2, and inside p1 package you have class a, and inside p2 package you have class a b, and in p1 a method m1 is actually protected, and if you want to use this m1 method inside package to class b and method is protected, then you have to perform inheritance, you have to inherit that class. I will come to that topic. And there is a default you can use, but inside the package only, okay. Outside the package, this is the figure for that, see, and you can relate it also. Now whatever I told, just that present, see, uh, default is your modifier, okay. As of now, when I am saying default, then actually there is no default keyword written before that, okay. If I write class name as class A, B, C. Now this by default, this is default. You don't need to write this default. This is not a keyword. Default means there is no keyword used before class. There is no modifier used before the class. Okay. Now it comes to default. If you are using default keyword means just you are using here method declared, like when I am saying this default, this term as in terms of method only, not in terms of class. Okay, I am talking in terms of method. So suppose I declared a method m1 void m1. Okay, and I have not used any keyword here, then this is default scope. Okay, inside what scope? Default scope. Just don't relate it to classes. Again and again I am saying same thing. Okay, so just if I am declare this m1 method and I haven't used any access modifier, then this is default. Okay, so it's saying that default is used, then inside same class we can use this method. Yes, same package subclass. Yes, we can use, means same package I am talking about, and subclass means through inheritance it can use. Yes, same package non subclass. Yes, just create object and then you can use it. Different package subclass, no, means you want to use this method in different package and you don't want to perform inheritance, you don't want to inherit this class, then you cannot use this. Different package non subclass, no. That I will talk about today. Just after this inheritance, if you have a parent and child, I will come to that. Okay, and private, just private can be used inside same class only. Not this, not this, not this. Means any method is private and you want to use this, that then it can be used inside same class only. And just this is the approach. Okay, this protected can be used outside the package also, but there is a, it should use the inheritance concept. If that is not using, then it cannot use. Different package non subclass means without inheritance, no. Without inheritance you cannot use. And public can be used anywhere. Public methods within the package, beyond the package, and everything. Once I come to inheritance part, then you guys should be aware of this. Okay, so if you have seen this carefully, then otherwise you will again understand. I will tell there. Okay, but first let's understand others also. Before this we have what approaches. There was machine language. Okay, just leave this. These are programming approaches updated day by day, years by years, right? And this assembly language, rarely now some few companies are using. Okay, structured programming language, then it came structured programming language. I will talk about what was a structure approach, what was procedure programming, right? Then it came about object oriented programming, its hierarchy, how programmers developed programming language as per their convenience. Okay, then what was structure? Example is best to understand is C language. Okay, the basic principle of the structured programming approach is to divide programming into functions and modules. Okay, means you don't only methods were there. Okay, and if you have to perform any task, then for particular task methods we design. Suppose we have to add something, so add two numbers, then we have what, adding two numbers method. Okay, we have to print something, then we have a print method. Okay, so for any, this is just an example, but for anything we have to do, we write or program into functions. Then it came about procedural programming. Procedural programming came just because there was a problem with the functional programming, that you can declare their private and that, like, okay. So this approach is also known as the top down approach. In this approach, a program is divided into functions that perform a specific task. This is same as structure, but this approach is also known as the top down approach. In this, function into a specific task, but the problem with this approach was that everything was public. Anyone can access those methods which were public, and anyone can modify as per their convenience. So anyone can hack your system easily. This was actually drawback of this system, and being a tester, you should know that what is the drawback of this language. Then it came to this. Okay, so IBM COBOL and this Fortran, even I don't know how people worked in these languages. Okay, then it came to object oriented approach. This is actually, if I talk about in terms of Java, my definition will be incorrect, but in terms of C++, in terms of other programming languages, this will be correct. Like, this is a combination of procedural, structural, and OOPS approach, because you can save your data, make your data private, you can write programmings into methods, right? And of course there are OOP concepts like class and object. Then, but in terms of Java, you cannot write any single program without any class. C++ is optional. Without writing the class, you can write your program. But in Java, you have to write class keyword. You have to use, otherwise you cannot write any single program. If you have worked in C++ programming language in your college days, then you must know this. Okay. Then, what are the feature of OOPS? See, this is inheritance, one feature, polymorphism, abstraction, encapsulation, static block, blocks in Java, constructors. This all we cover in our course. In upcoming 2 or 3 lectures, we will see all this. Okay, and every concept is really important. Anyone you miss, you will not understand Selenium, and it's I can guarantee, because Selenium classes just you need to use. You must aware of Java concepts. Okay, Selenium is just providing you some packages, libraries to implement automation, but Java you have to use everywhere. Concepts, if you know, then only you can work. So we will see all this. Okay, now it's come to inheritance. Okay, see, inheritance is what? First of all, why we need this concept and what is this? Inheritance says that any class can inherit. Suppose I developed something, I have written some code, okay, and similar requirement is there. Means, suppose I have, for an example, I have written a method to add 2 numbers. For example, method I have written to add 2 numbers. Same logic is required, same code is required, and this is to be used somewhere. Then inheritance says that don't write it again, just inherit this method, inherit this property, inherit this class, and use this method. Okay, so inheritance means mechanism where one object acquires all the properties and behaviors of a parent object. Now, what is property? property is variable, behaviors is method. I just told you 5-10 minutes before, right? So inheritance says that any class can acquire the object, objects and behaviors properties, whatever you say. Okay, so type of inheritance. So there is a class A and class B extends class A property. Then this is single inheritance. Okay. What is multi-level inheritance? Class B is having properties of class A, means class A have method M1, M2. Then class B will also have this method without declaring, without creating. And suppose class B has its own method M3 and class C extends this class B, then class B will have this M1, M2 and M3 both, and suppose class C has its own method M4. Means in multi-level inheritance, parent is only one, but the properties are coming every class. Means M1 and M2 were present in class A, M2, M3 is present in class C, but M1 and M2 is coming in class B through inheritance of class A, and in class C it has its own method, and M1, M2, M3 which all are present through inheritance in class B are coming in this. What is hierarchical? Hierarchical means class B is also taking properties of class A, class C is also taking properties of class A. Okay, and there is one another multiple inheritance. And this is actually not supported in Java. When a class have multiple parents, means if there is a class C and there is a class A and class B, if class C tries to inherit this class A and class B both, then it is not possible in Java. Why it is not possible? You will see this in coming lectures. There is a problem called diamond problem, constructor chaining problem. This you will all understand, but you should be very clear about this concept. What is single inheritance, what is multi-level inheritance, what is hierarchical inheritance, and what is multiple inheritance. Okay, so in single, one class acquires another class property. In multi-level, suppose I am extending my father's property. Of course, suppose my father's gifted me a home, then I have this home, and tomorrow I will purchase a home by my salary. Then my son will acquire both my father's home and my home. Of course, this is simple to understand. There is no logic behind it that you need to put on to understand it. Okay. Hierarchical. Hierarchical means I am using my father's home, my brother is also using my father's home. Okay, means whatever I am using, my brother is also using. Similarly, class C is also using class A objects and behaviors, class B is also using that. Okay, and in multiple means, now I don't want to tell that someone has two fathers, suppose, and he want to he want to collect everyone's property. So this is not possible in India and in Java. Okay, so this is for multiple inheritance. Anybody has any doubt? See, if I talk about parent, so I will say that my father is my parent. Okay, and if my father will talk about his parent, then his father will his parent. Similarly here, class C parent is class B, and class B parent is class A. So this class B is the superclass for class C, and class A is the superclass for class B. Okay, now we have to combine the packages, uh, modifiers and the inheritance here. Now quickly we will see this. I will create a package. Inheritance. Okay, what is this? Let's delete it. Need to create a package inheritance, and here suppose simple name I will keep so that you can relate with hierarchy. Okay, I will keep here A because we have to understand only the concept as of now. Okay, and in class A I will create a method M1. Simple message I will give method M1 in class A. Okay, and of course there will be a return type here. This is inside inheritance package. Okay, and suppose I declare int A is equal to 5. Okay, class A have a variable A and method M1. Okay, and suppose another method M2. Sys out method M2 in class A. Guys, give me a second. Let me off the fan. Okay, so method M2 in class A. There are what I have done as of now. I just created a package. Okay, and inside this package I have created a class which is A, and inside package A I have created method M1 and M2 and a variable A. Okay, now I will create another class B. Okay, and inside class B I will create integer B is equal to 7 and void M3. method M3 in class B and void M4. Method M4 in class B. Okay. Now I will create object as main. Okay. Main method should be there in main class. Okay. Now see. First of all, how to create object. This you should know. Currently, this is storing no memory. Okay. This doesn't have any memory. Okay. This class also doesn't have any memory. But once I create object for any class, suppose I create object for class B. How I will create object? Class name B, then object name. Suppose I take object name at obj is equal to new keyword will be used. Okay, and then class name again and open close parenthesis. This is constructor. I will talk about constructor, but that's not today because there will be detailed session for the constructor. That's why I am skipping this as of now. Just understand that if you have to create object for the class, then this is the way using new keyword. Okay. Okay, so we have created. Once I have created class using new keyword, then there is a memory created. Okay, memory created and object location is there. Means if I show you, once I write like this, suppose I write like this, B object is equal to new B, then there will be object created in heap. Okay, and because in class B I have written integer B is equal to 5, so B is equal to 5 stored here, B value 5. I have created M1, so M1 method, M3 and M4 I created in class B, so M3 and M4 are also now present in this object. And until I don't use this new keyword, there was no object created, just declaration was there but no memory utilization. New keyword will allocate the memory to the object. Okay, so this is done in background. So same. Now if I want to access this, if I want to access if I want to access this M1, then how can I access this? Object name dot method name. Okay, if I want to access this M4, then how can I do it? Object name dot method name M4. If I want to access this variable b is equal to 5, then how can I access this? Object dot variable name. Let me do it for you. I have created the object for which class? Class B. Okay, class B have what? Variable B. So I want to access that. Access and print that. Object dot variable name B. Okay, if I run this code, it will print my variable. Okay, once I use this object dot, then you can see whatever can be accessed with this class is suggesting here B, M3, M4. Guys, you need to understand and you should be aware of this idea as well. Whatever is suggesting so much powerful, that's why I am using Eclipse here. Even most of my experience with the IntelliJ and NetBeans, but I am using Eclipse because I find it best idea. Okay, so see, M3 and M4 and all saying that return type is void and it's present in class B. I hope that you can see. Magnify. Now you can see when I am using object dot, then it's suggesting me the variable M3. Return type of that M3 method is void and where is in class B. Also it's saying that M4 you can access present in where void and in which class B you can access. Okay, so this is actually B. Okay, and I run, then I get the result of that variable 7. But what I if make this variable private? So what I said about the private, that private can be accessed only in this class. You can find the error here. Change visibility of the B to package. Create getter or setter, just leave this getter or setter, but change visibility of B to package means at least it should be the default because it is in same package. Okay, if I don't declare any here, any keyword here, then it can be accessed within different class because this class is different. This class name is main and this class is B and I am using this variable inside different package. So what I have to do, I can use through default, through protected and through public. This is what I explained you today. A default private I have shown you both. Okay, so here you can see that if I make private, I cannot use beyond the package. Okay, means beyond the class I cannot use that. Inside same class I can use that variable. Please mute yourself. Okay, so same package I can use, same class I can use this default, but if I am trying to use this variable inside different class I cannot. There is lots of no here, then you can relate it. Default we can use in different class, but we need to create the object. Okay, of course need to create the object if you want to use something inside same class, of course, also. Okay, so I am using this variable B, then how can I use this? This is in same package, so we don't need to think much. If this is in the same package, then this will not private and I can use through default, public, protected, all. Okay, and similarly methods also. Object dot method m3. Okay, so of course method is not manually using print statement. So object dot print M3. Okay, now you can see this M3. If I run this, whatever M3 will have will be printed here. M method M3 in class B. But if I make this method private, then you can please be careful about this. If you use private, then you cannot use this method beyond the class. If I'll save this, then here will be error. This is the error. Change visibility to package means it's inside package. Then you can use this, but not beyond the class. This is actually your concepts. You can try with the same class. You can try with the different classes, different packages. Today try this. Whatever written here, try everything. Means inheritance if I cover today, then try all that also. Okay. Now see. Of course we'll cover this. This object I have created for class B. Can I use class A methods M1? No, I cannot use that because see what is saying that the method M1 is undefined for the type B. I have created object for class B and trying to access the methods of class A. That's not possible. So how to do that? If you want to access that, then of course variable if I to access A, then I have to object declare A, declare the object, right? And then you can access this. And if you want to access the method, then M1 you can access M1 and M2 both are here in class of A. Okay, so you can access. So if you have to use the properties of another class, then you have to either create the object or use inheritance. Currently what I did, now I'm coming to a single instance. Currently what I did, currently I have created the object for class B and I am trying to use the properties of class A. Means I am trying to call the properties of object dot M1. Okay, so here you will find an error that M1 is undefined for class type B. Type B means class B. Okay, because M1 is not present in class B and you have created object for class B and trying to access method M which is present in class A. Now I want all these methods and variables means properties and behaviors should be present in class B. Then I will just inherit this class. Use this. And in Java inheritance is possible through extends keyword. Now class A is in class B is the parent and class A is the child. Is it correct? Yeah. So the class which is inheriting the properties is child, right? And class which is giving the property is parent. Of course my father is giving money to me. Now I am not giving my money to my father. Nowadays our father don't need our money because he earned quite much than us, right? And because whatever the reasons were, so here you can see class B is inheriting the properties. That's why class B is the child and class A is the parent. Okay, so after extends whatever the key class written is parent, before that it's child. Okay, now if I will try to access this object dot M1, then M1 you can access, M2 you can access. M3 is not accessible. Okay, that's because I have declared is private. Okay, just remove this. You can see this object dot M. Still I have created the object for class B. Still I can use this because why? Because through inheritance all these methods are coming in class B. If I remove this I cannot call. Okay, so suppose now this time I try to call object dot m1. I have created object for class B and calling class A method. M1 is M1 in class A. Okay, M1 is not present in class B. I have created object for class B. Still I can use M1 through inheritance. This is a level inheritance. Okay, so today I will leave here only. Anyone have any doubt, then ask me. Class B is subclass, child is subclass, parent is superclass. These are actually different keywords that we use. If in Java, in terms of Java, there is parent and child is used. Super and subclass is used in terms of C++, not in Java. But whatever you use, you should understand the concept. I just copy and pasted that figure from somewhere. Yeah. Then if you want to then parent and child should be changed. Then class A will access B. What is possible? Object of class B in that is has a relationship. We'll see that later. You can do this. You can use like this way, but that is actually has a relationship. If you create object of a class inside a class, then that's actually has a relationship. But why we need this? I don't think that has a relationship. See, there is a drawback with inheritance. Just understand that drawback first. Suppose I need to use only this M4 method, but through, so suppose I need only this M1 method inside this class B. So currently here two methods. Tomorrow class A may have 50 plus methods. Okay. I want to inherit only one. Still through inheritance, everything is coming inside this class. Means 50 methods are coming through inheritance. Okay. Then this class will be heavy. If I will create the object for class B, then too much heavy object will be created. Okay, there is lots of memory allocated. In that to overcome with that situation, we use Hazer relationship. But here we don't need to use Hazer relationship. This simple case you can do it, but wherever it's too much needed, and you think that too heavy class is going to be if I inherit, then use that. You will come by practice and approaches you will see in your live project code, then you will see that. hybrid inheritance is actually combination of single, multiple, multi-level, and that there is no hybrid inheritance, right? There is a combinations that you can create any combination. Like in hierarchical also single plus multi-level combination is hierarchical. Hybrid single multi-level multiple is hierarchical. Sorry. So this is not a actually new type of inheritance hybrid. Only combinations of others are used. Multi-level is a concept. Single level is a concept. Okay, but hierarchical and hybrid are not concept, and multiple is not supported in Java. Okay, so my point of view, others are only combination or other level inheritance like single, multi-level, and multiple is a concept. Like one class wants to absorb the properties and behavior of two different classes. So this is a concept. One class want to X property of a single class, then it is concept. Multi-level, I am hierarching my father is hierarching his father, so this is a concept. But hybrid is actually combination of all these concepts. So that's not a concept that I need to, and that's also not supported in Java because multiple is not supported, so hybrid is not supported. Hybrid is combination of all inheritance. Okay, thank you. So thank you for, yeah, yeah. Non subclass is used actually here. You have seen and you are coming here, right? Non subclass, you are confused here. Non subclass in this figure, it means that without inheritance, means if I want to use class, I have created two classes, class A and class B, and I want to use, and suppose class B different package and class A is in different package. Class A is in P1 package and class B is in P2 package. Okay, now I want to extend the properties of class A into class B, which is in different package. Then without inheritance is it's not possible. And it's saying that different package without inheritance. Non subclass means without inheritance. If you use the subclass, then of course there will be inheritance. For you to understand, just write here that through inheritance. Okay, guys. So thank you for attending today's session. And one